Welcome to Thriving Tribesmen. My name is Kuri, your host, and I'm excited to be making this episode, Ultimate Sexual Power. So we're going to be talking about this. It's going to be an entire series for this week, and it's going to be a free course that we're going to be doing a video recording, so look out for that. It'll be coming out soon. I'm just doing the training on audio so that it's easily accessible to you guys. So you guys that are within the podcast world, you're going to be the first ones to hear this, and I'm excited to release this for you. And the reason why we've come to this point is that I've been planning to get a masterclass for attraction into seduction, because I was teaching on this. I started seeing some of the guys that I was teaching, they were getting mixed bag of results. I started realizing the reason why was because they were not in tune with their masculinity, and they needed to figure out a way of regaining that and finding that. And a lot of it now comes down to how much of that are you willing to connect with, because there's so many ideas of what masculinity looks like, and some of it is Hollywood made, it's stuff what somebody else has made, and there's some stuff where it works against you when you're trying to, no lack of a better term, become an alpha male. Because when you are trying to become an alpha male, when you feel like you're not, that very act of trying to become an alpha male is actually beta behavior. It's more about you having that certainty of who you are and being able to display a sense of gravitas, as a woman said to me, and I was like, oh, I like that word, but a sense of empowerment from within. And that's what that is. So that whatever you're doing, there's a sense of presence that you are aware, and you are you're a person of substance. And so that's where it becomes more impactful, that when you do the attraction, when you're a person of substance, and you do the seduction, all of that sort of falls into place, and it's like a domino effect, rather than when you start doing attraction, there is a mixed bag of things, because you've missed this part where you're trying to get in touch with a little bit more in touch with what masculinity looks like. And in a world where being masculine is seen as being evil, it's no wonder many men are sort of shying away from it, and then also ending up into sexless relationships. So we're going to deal with this whole week. There's several things I need to go through, but as for today, we're just going to go with the mindset side of things. How do you think a man should be living in this life? What is going on, and where are the missing pieces when it comes to this? So really, I think the best way to start off is that I'll start off with this story. When I started doing pickup artistry, it was more just me having fun, really just trying to figure this out. How do I become a very attractive male that is attractive to all women, and I can get any woman anywhere? And it became the fact that we lived in London, where you've got women from all over the world, it became a complete mission to be attractive to all types of women. So we really went pedal to the metal, no holding back, just went straight into it. And within a few months, we got extremely good, and it wasn't even a case of when it would happen. We're literally just we got to a place where we're so good at what we're doing. Then one of the guys, we had heard about other guys that were teaching people seminars, and we opened our own business as well, started teaching seminars, and started teaching people over a weekend. I started making some money, and it was the first time when I actually got some money. And as you start getting money, you started buying really expensive clothes, got some nice cars. We rented out in central London in an apartment, very, very expensive. And at some point we started, because it was a business, we didn't really know what we're doing in terms of business. So the way we're spending was very bad. And then our personal spending was really bad. So started getting credit cards, started getting loans, and we started living outside of our means, especially me. I was living outside of my means because I just got flashier and flashier, and really because I was around people that were had a whole lot more money than I was, but I felt like in order to fit in, I would have to get some really nice clothes, which were extremely expensive. Then, I mean, that's when I got my sort of hobby of collecting fragrances, because I started getting into, but those were not just, they were all expensive fragrance. I'm saying all this because this time period where I learned this skill, it was a good skill. I was learning a good skill, but at the same time, our terrible skill in terms of retaining money and investing and doing something with that money so I can save for my future. And it was just a house built on cards. So over a period of time, I racked up insane amount of debt, and it was now just eating me alive. And it doesn't matter how hard I worked. It doesn't matter what I did. With compounding interest, I just felt like I was not even paying off the debt itself. I was just paying off the interest. And it was such a difficult period. And I had letters coming in. It was such a horrible experience. The stress, the anxiety, just no idea what to do. And I remember speaking to somebody, a gentleman. He started speaking to me, speaking into my life. Started he'd been through something similar. Started telling me exactly what I needed to do in order to start dealing with it. Work hard, be consistent, start paying it off bit by bit. This is what you need to do. Reduce your spending here. And it needed a level of discipline to start doing so. And as I did do that, I started seeing some progress, and remain disciplined, continued working hard, remain dedicated to the things that were making things work. And over a period of time, I've got it much easier, got control of the debt, started getting money, started getting even more comfortable. And I'm saying all of this to say that from the day that you're born, you had a debt to pay. And it has been compounding ever since. Now, it's not just one debt. That debt is associated to your mindset, associated to your physical health, it's associated to your relationships. And if you're not paying that debt, then whenever you're not paying the debt, you find yourself in a situation where you're struggling. Now, for your relationships, you've not been paying that debt correctly. And I'm saying that so you can sink in. It's been compounding over a period of time. And sometimes, one of my mentors, he said, sometimes people pay ignorance debt. What that means is that there's opportunities for you to change. There's opportunities, things that you can do specifically to change the situation you're in. But you choose not to act. And by you not choosing not to act is you actually paying for the ignorance tax. That I'm going to continue paying the ignorance tax because I prefer it. I know it makes me depressed. I know it makes me feel unloved. It makes me not be the way I want to be, but I'll choose to pay the ignorance tax. Ignorance debt. And it's an absolute crazy place when you start thinking about it from that perspective. That, okay, as a man, when I think of my mindset, and again, you can go as far as your career as well. There's a debt. Some of you guys have paid the debt for that, in terms of paying the price in order to be skillful enough to get paid a lot more. And you've got control of that. You've got control of your finances. You've done very well with that. But you've not prioritized the other bits where your physical health. Now, I'm speaking to myself with this one. There are times when I've not prioritized my physical health. I've not eaten well. I've not trained well. I've not been disciplined with that. And I found myself last year having high blood pressure because it's that debt has been compounding. And that's the reason why I'm using debt, because I wanted you to think about the compounding interest, that as you're not engaged, there's compound interest to the thing that you're not dealing with. And that's the life of a man. That life is going to be fucking hard, and it's hard because there's a compounding debt that you have to pay, and the longer it takes for you to engage, the more it's going to be as painful and rough and difficult. And you find yourself in a relationship, there was certain things that you needed to be doing in your relationship in order to be paying the debt, but you chose to be ignorant with it, and so that now you're finding that the compounding interest has got you to this place where you are sexless right now. And I know it fucking sucks, but a lot of it comes down to the fact that none of us want to embrace the suck. Now, I'm saying this because when I moved to London and I was trying to meet all the women around the world, and I kind of sucked as a pickup artist. I was sort of here, there, not really good. I had to experience almost 30 days of horrible rejections for me to then get the benefits of being able to sleep with most women from around the world. So imagine I've got a debt to pay in order to learn to meet women and have sex with them. So I started paying the debt to the point where I got to that skill. And in order to maintain that skill and get better, I continued paying that debt. And instead of me just paying the interest, I started paying and really getting good to the point where I was close enough to paying it off, be free, financial freedom. So my point being is that all of these you can invert debt to skill, you can invert it to, a learned behavior. You can. All of these are debts that you need to be paying in order to get to the place where you want to be, especially for sexual frequency. And a large chunk of it is being able to embrace sucking in order to get good. And when you can do so, I think this is the main thing of this whole podcast episode, is that you need to just embrace the fact that life is going to be fucking hard. There's a requirement of you to be disciplined, to be able to acknowledge, to see that there's something that you lack in terms of skill, or maybe you've been ignorant to, and be able to admit that to yourself and say, okay, what is it that I need to do in order to reduce the debt? What can I do to reduce the gap? How is it that I can stop the compound interest going? How do I do that? And I'm putting it that way because I want you to feel a sense of urgency, because the longer you don't act, the longer you're going to remain in a sexless relationship. Now, I know like I was saying, I don't want to keep this episode going any longer, but I wanted to get you to start thinking about this, that when you're going towards sexual power, and I'm not trying to get you interested in the next episode, I'm going to be talking about, the reason why I talked to you about this is for you to understand that you're going to have to be ready to work really hard to get what you want. Work hard, be disciplined, and be focused. And you're going to have to be doing this. And what you're trying to achieve when you do this is to get a sense of gravitas. And I heard the woman say this about when we were talking about, she was teaching about voice coaching and how you project your voice and how to make your voice have a sense of substance and being that man of substance. And I liked that a lot. And really, when we're talking about unleashing that ultimate sexual power, we're talking about you having a sense of, substance, that whenever you're around your wife, she feels that and say, you know what, that's my man. Or if it's not your wife, somebody's looking at like, they don't know what it is about that guy, but there's something amazing about that guy. They just sense your presence. It's the equivalent of this is like if Elon Musk walked into a room full of businessmen. He doesn't have to say anything, but he's the man of substance when it comes to business. And you can have the same when it comes to a sexual appeal. You have a sense of gravitas. And it's going to be something that we're going to be talking about in the next few episodes. So really, just to recap, everything that we're going to be doing as men is right now, from now on, is to re-engage with those debts that you've not been paying that are causing you to be in a sexless relationship. So we're going to be going deeper into that. I don't know if we're going to keep the analogy of the debt, but we'll see how we go with it. So thank you very much, guys. Hopefully that's been something that's really impactful. Like I said, this is going to be a training course that we're going to be dealing with. I wanted to teach this initially here so I can see how we get on with it. I'll reteach it a few times other places, and then we'll get the refined one. I think we'll probably get a masterclass with this, so we can get probably a whole weekend of different lessons, and we can be on Facebook group and asking questions, so we can get better at delivering this sound to be something that you can access easily at any time and be able to get a lot out of it in terms of changing your sexless relationship. So, and again, this is stuff that we're going to be giving out for free so that everybody's got the information they need in order to change their relationship, regardless of whether you are wealthy or not wealthy. Everybody deserves a relationship that makes them happy, and that's the thing that we're trying to provide for you guys. So hopefully, if you've got any questions or you've got any criticism as well, or any suggestions on this topic that I was talking about, go to thriving_tribesmen and just give me the questions or feedback or anything that you want to learn more about this. Then I'll go deeper in the next few days. Hopefully I can wrap it up by Friday. If not, I'll probably continue on next week, because I think it's going to be a really, really big one that we could be tackling several things in order to help you get that gravitas when it comes to the relationship, getting more empowered within your relationship. So thank you very much, guys. I'll be speaking to you guys soon. Take care.